This is Jules Schiller
on ABC Radio Adelaide, South Australia and Broken Hill.
Yes, earlier this year, a study estimated that 40% of current jobs in Australia won't exist in 10 to 15 years due to automation. That's 5 million jobs gone. So in 2030, if you're listening to the ABC, expect to hear something like this.
You're listening to Jules Schiller on ABC Radio Adelaide, South Australia and Broken Hill. Coming up, it's Soft Rock Thursday, so get ready to listen to some groovy beats.
Wow, that guy's great. Where'd you get him from? Yes, automation. But most of us in the workplace are concerned more about lifestyle or getting a promotion or hours or stress than we are about the threat of automation. In fact, a survey said that less than 5% are concerned about this phenomenon. And perhaps we should be, according to a report released this week, saying that automation does threaten a lot of professions. And here to talk about it is Futurist Shara Evans. Hi, Shara. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, hi, Jules. I was just cracking up over the robot voice that you used because, frankly, in 15 years' time, the robot voices will have been so developed that it will have a custom personality and you wouldn't even know that it's a robot. It would sound like a person.
Well, this is the thing, Shara, because I'll play this because I laugh going, ha-ha, as if, a newsreader or a radio presenter or anyone could be automated. But when you go online, and you would know this to look at news reports like Cassie Sainsbury, who's a story here in South Australia, you hear reports that sound like this.
Australian woman Cassie Sainsbury charged in Colombian drug arrest. An Adelaide personal trainer has been charged with drug trafficking in Colombia after police...
So, Shara, there are news reports now that are just completely automated off transcripts.
Oh, totally. And that is just the beginning of natural language, artificial intelligence. But it goes so much beyond that. If I look at the world of AI, one of the areas that's being researched very, very heavily right now is emotion detection, both from the voice, the actual words that you use, the intonations that you use, the context of the words, and facial expressions. And I fully expect that technology is going to be integrated into voice recognition systems so that when you are talking to them or listening to them, they're going to be sounding more and more human-like. And we're not far away from that.
All right, that's making me feel really comfortable, Shara. Thank you very much. But what professions are most at risk by automation? I mean, obviously we're experiencing a lot of it in Australia with the manufacturing industry, especially here in Adelaide with Holden and Mitsubishi and a lot of those car companies shutting down. What other industries might be under threat?
Well, frankly, Jules, it goes across all industries, and it's not just blue-collar jobs, it's white-collar jobs as well. Because if you think about the things that lawyers or accountants do or bankers, a lot of the tasks are repetitive and actually can be automated. So as I look at the whole idea of what jobs might be at risk, I look at it from a few different perspectives. The first is, what is the technical feasibility of automating a job both today and going forward in time? And frankly, the stats from just today are pretty startling. A study that I was reading from McKinsey was showing that literally 30% of the tasks that people across most occupations perform can be automated using today's technology.
Well, even talking about things like doctors or medical procedures could be automated? I mean, how far can we go?
Some of it could be, but there are other things to consider. So it's not just, can I automate it? You've got to look at the cost side. And another thing you've got to look at is the relative scarcity of skills and the cost of labor, that is people. So if I look at something like agriculture, where you need a large amount of unskilled labor for short periods to do crop picking, that kind of job category, if you like, is ripe for automation because you've got a confluence of events. But there are other things to look at too. the benefits from automation could go well beyond just replacing the human and maybe finding a cheaper solution. It could lead to enhanced productivity. And again, I'll use agriculture as an example. So if you've got a robot crop picker or a robot crop surveyor, that robot will likely have all kinds of sensors and be collecting data along the way that can help you to understand what kind of pest or weed control you need to use.
Okay,
and
but
there are
Shara,
similar examples for mining and so on.
But what can we do to avoid losing our jobs through automation? Is it a question of you know reskilling ourselves in the IT industries, or how do we?
Well, there's definitely going to be reskilling that's involved, but it's not just the IT industries. So technology also will bring about entirely new job categories. For example, 3D printing has advanced to the point where we can now 3D print food using natural ingredients, or even 3D print houses. So a new job of the future might involve designing recipes that are 3D printed in a new kitchen appliance. So you've got 3D printing chefs, or you might have people that are material sciences specialists that design all kinds of things that go into 3D printers.
Yeah, we were talking on the show yesterday to the meat industry that they're designing 3D printers that can make hamburgers and steaks and sausages and all sorts of things. It's a new world.
Yes, and these kinds of technologies have been in the research world and early prototypes for years now. In fact, I've been talking about companies that do that for quite some time. So, with those kinds of new jobs, it's about finding something in your own personality or skill set that you enjoy and applying it to these new jobs that are being created. And similarly, if I look at drones and delivery by drone, there are going to be a whole range of new jobs that come out of that. For instance, packaging goods and services in a way that can be transported by drone as opposed to on the ground would require different packaging. So you'll find people who become specialists in that area.
So many professions, aren't there, Shara? So many. Well, look, thank you we've got to get to the news soon, but thank you so much for the chat, Shara. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And this is, like I said, it's a very alarming statistic. And let's hope that we can all retool and reskill before we're all